guys, today I'm doing a review of episode 11. See, that looks awkward. Which one looks better? Like the flashy 11 or like, oh, I think it's like 11. Just say like 11 like this. Because now that we're in double digits, I can't do my like symbol thing. 11. That's what we're going to do. About the last 2 episodes. Please stop hating me for that just because I didn't like them. But I thoroughly liked this one. It was pretty good. I'd give it about an A-, about a 90%. It was like pretty good. They made some minor changes to like 2 or 3 characters I'm noticing, and I'm not liking that part. I want to say this is similar to the plot in the book. I believe it's like 85% similar to it. I'm not quite sure. I read City of Bones 5 years ago. My memory on this is not that great. So we start off with Michael Wayland, and you saw my video last week. Like all of us thought it. Michael Wayland is not Michael Wayland, and we were right. He's Valentine with the stupid ruin on. Okay. That was really clever. I actually didn't mind that plot switch with the switching ruin thingy. And Jace is over here dying of demon poisoning, and his ruins aren't working because his parabatai bond was weak or whatever. The parabatai bond waking, it was awkward. I still don't like it. They didn't really base it around that. Thank God, not in this episode. And so they come up with this philosophy that they need blood, and I was like, why? Like, Alec had demon poisoning at the end of City of Bones, and he didn't need blood. He needed Magnus to make some potion, and at first I thought they're just going to take him to Magnus, and he's going to heal him like he did Alec in the first book. No, that's not what they do. They need blood, so they go to Raphael, Quayle, and Simon do, and I gotta say this, they work really, really well as a team. Simon, like, telling Raphael, what if I accidentally mentioned to the Clave that you told me the truth about Camille? And they literally blackmailed Raphael. And Raphael goes to the safe and he puts it in his coat or something, and this picture frame opens, and there's these thousands of bags of blood, and he's like, alright, what type you need? And I don't know why, I just thought it was funny, like, vampires just have their little safe of blood. Yeah, except for Raphael was like keeping Simon with him. One thing that didn't make sense though was that they were sitting in the restaurant or where the werewolf pack is, and there's clearly sunlight streaming through the window, and Simon's like, I'll get my keys, you can drive, I'll hide under a blanket so I don't get sunlight. And there was already sunlight from the restaurant. It's not plausible for the plot, but whatever. We got to the Raphael part, I was laughing, it was fine. I don't even care about the technicality issue anymore. Quayle rushes back, and then Jace is okay, yay. Yeah, I really didn't think him dying plot was going for. There's this talk that Michael has between Quayle, and literally right after this talk, I was like, alright, that's confirmed, that's not Michael. And he's talking, he's like, maybe it was my destiny to bring the family lines together. And I was like, Valentine, right there, that one line, it was Valentine. And apparently he made a mishap about saying 19 years when it was 20, and when Luke told that to Quayle, that's when she like 120% pieced it together, because Quayle was getting suspicious too. I didn't mind Quayle in this episode because she was like book Quayle. She couldn't fight, she can't fight properly, there's no demon wielding, no. You can't fight Quayle yet. I'm sorry, your time hasn't come yet, but she's kind of like she used Jace and Luke to get in, and she's, I don't know. But I like that, because she's not fighting. Quayle's not a fighter yet, and I've really, really hated it in the past few episodes, where they're like, oh yeah, I can demon wield and all this. I was like, no you can't, no. Then she's allowed to go in and see Jace, but Clace had chemistry. Like, in their movement, they had chemistry, but not the dialogue. When Jay says, this is real, and he goes to kiss her, I was like, oh, okay. See, that works. But Quayle's like 3 sentences before that, I was like, you're making it awkward, Quayle, stop talking and just kiss already. Michael's like, because of the downloaded blood, I had enhanced healing, and they're at Linwick's. And for a second, I thought Linwick's was the hospital mentioned in book 4 that Jocelyn and Quayle went to, and I was like, what? And I don't think it is, and I don't think that's where Valentine was originally in the first book, but whatever. It was abandoned, there were demons. It was like the gods that Jason, Luke, and Michael had to fight, and Luke's like, yeah, you're going to help me, and I was like, oh no. Now we have Jason Valentine. Clearly walks in the room, and she drops the sloth blade, and she's looking like in horror, and I was like, oh, she found Jocelyn. And yeah, yes he did. No, because Isabel's on trial. And Magnus is hired as her lawyer. And there's this scene where Alec goes to Magnus's apartment and he's talking and he's like, what do you want for me to get you to be Isabel's lawyer? And Magnus is like, you. Way to be subtle, Magnus. And then Magnus says your bow and arrow or your quiver and arrow. And I was just like, what? Because like, Shadowhunters have thousands and thousands of weapons. Even if Alec gave Magnus a bow and arrow, Alec could just find another one. But I get that Magnus was not going to keep the bow and arrow. I could tell that from the start because that's not Magnus. And it was just a tactless object or whatever. And then there's this one line Magnus had. And it's like when Malik was interacting, I was just... Okay, we're getting some Malik chemistry here, guys. It's happening. And Magnus says this one line, well, okay, then you have yourself a deal. And as I say, law is the law. And he like hobbled like an old man and he did the voice of one. And I don't know why, but it was so funny. I'm just sitting there laughing this whole scene. Magnus made some sassy comment when he had his case, and then Lydia was the prosecutor, which was kind of awkward, but then Magnus called Lydia up to the stand, and she does this big-ass long speech. She's like, the law is the law, but you have courage and love and compassion and blah, 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 blah. And she starts telling the truth about everybody. She's like a brother and sister who love each other, and she mentions Magnus about how he was just doing the right thing or whatever, but I'm sitting there close to tears. I don't even know why it moved me so much, because, okay, I've been, like, on the edge with Lydia before, but after this scene, I love her. It's a fit. She can stay. I don't mind. Yes, I know the wedding's coming, but we all know the wedding's not gonna happen, people. Malik is gonna happen, not the wedding. Magnus just throws all the papers up in the air from his briefcase. Is this Law and Order and High School Musical combined into one? There's like confetti too, and there's papers laying down, and everybody's so happy because Lydia's like, this trial is ridiculous. I'm dismissing the charges or whatever, and the instigator's like, no. We do want the cup, and if you don't have it within 24 hours, you'll be exiled. And then suddenly, you see Isabel in tears, and I'm like, oh no, it was going so well. And you flash over to the Valentine scene. They're locked in the safe room with Michael, Jace, and Clary. And Clary picks up this cup and she's like, demons, I command you to attack Valentine. But she said it with some weird accent and some weird deep voice. And it made me laugh. I was like, Clary, please don't ever repeat that again. And Michael's like, let me try. And I was like, oh, no. And then you see him whip open the ruin. There we go. Here's Valentine, and you see him unseal himself as Valentine, and he holds up the cup. He's like, demons, I command you to attack. And, okay, he can say it better, clearly. I'm just saying it was more scary when he said it. It's not working. And then, and then Clary pulls out the actual cup. Okay, yeah, I like that. You tricked him with the cups there. And, Valentine looks over, he's holding a mug that says, world's greatest dad. Oh no, that was meant to be irony, but it was beautiful. It was so perfect. And then Clary commands the demons to back off, and Jace is gonna fight Valentine. And there'd been this scene previously when Michael was training with Jace, and Jace was being like weak, and I think he was mentioning he was weak because he loved Clary at the time or whatever, because to love is to destroy and always been loved. Yeah, and he told Jace he was weak, and when Jace goes to kill him, he's like, see, you can't do it, you're weak. Valentine just says, yes, the bond you felt between me was strong, because I am your father, and Clary's also my daughter, and your brother and sister, that's why you're so drawn to each other. the plot has been revealed. I was so afraid they weren't going to do this plot, but it was a major plot twist in the books, guys. It saved 2.5 books for us. This had to happen, but they put it in. Thank you, Lord. Jace looked so sad doing it, and I was like, why is he, like, Jace has cried too many times in this season. Jace was the boy who never cried, and there was a big significance when he cried in book 5. And I wouldn't have had a problem if he had cried before. Like, I don't want to be completely emotionalist, but he's a little too emotional for me. Just a tad bit. I'm not really that annoyed with it though. It's just let it happen. Valentine grabs Jace and he's like, come on, Clary, just kill us both 2 for 1. And Clary can't do it. We all know this. And he shoves Jace off him. And he's like, oh, look, your mother-in-law and 2 children united. And he steps to the portal. I think this is where finale is going to come in, because I'm going to assume that Valentine is going to get his demon army together and they're going to sort of battle. I'm going to guess that's where the finale is. They have Jocelyn back, seeing it, waking up. We have the plot line revealed about the brother and sister. Thank you. Jace returns the cup to Lydia, and Isabel's free. And there's this adorable moment where Isabel and Alec hug. The height difference between them is ridiculous. But it was so cute, and I wish somebody had just taken a picture of that. Just the Lightwood siblings. It was so perfect. I love my Lightwoods. And then Magnus gives the bow and arrow back to Alec, and he says this one line, and he's like, it's not fair to Lydia that she'll be alone for the rest of her life, and it's not fair to you, Alec. And Alec looks like he's really thinking about it, and I'm thinking that's where the wedding stops. Like, why it stops is because Magnus is saying these things to Alec. But I'm seeing this chemistry forming between Malik. So Malik is really good. I'm really liking this. Jace and Alec have this other parabatai bond fight. Not this again, please. I'm not liking the parabatai bond, and I finally figured out why. Watching this scene, and Jace and Alec like, you betrayed me, and I didn't betray you, I saved you from yourself, I don't even know who's right, who's wrong, I don't even care. I'm like, just stop it, you brothers. Alec was defined to me, the reason why I loved him was because he was always the Black Star and Jace's supernova, and he was always the one that was not looked at as much, and that's why I was drawn to him, and my love for him started there. But he was still loyal to Jace, even though he knew Jace was better than him as a Shadowhunter. He would always be loyal to Jace, and always be loyal to Isabel, and that's why he always went with him. And this time he's not loyal to Jace. He's only loyal to Isabel, and I think that's where my main problem's occurring. You're undermining your love for Alec. I feel like they changed him too much to show his emotional scale. He's not as loyal or something like that. And I don't know, that was where my problem was. That was my biggest problem in this episode. Isabel's no longer on trial. Jace is no longer dying. Valentine is free. This isn't really following the plot. I'm okay with it though. You've kept the characters most like themselves. Alec is like, That's why I gave this an A-. It was really good though. We went from bursting out laughing to being in tears. And I don't know, I was just emotionally attached to this episode, and I really liked it. And we have one more episode before the season finale, so I'm really trying to see what they're trying to do for this season finale, but I can't figure it out. Ugh. I'm Annalyse, thank you for watching. Bye!